MediaOne and FII can grow together?
First of all, I want to congratulate MediaOne for partnering with the Future Investment Initiative in Saudi Arabia. This is a great partnership that can benefit both countries. India viewers needs to know what's happening in Saudi Arabia. This is a great step by MediaOne to jump in and come within the Saudi revolution in industry as well as in economy. Plus, MediaOne has been in Saudi Arabia for many years. I want to thank you personally. I want to thank all your team for the full coverage. You've been active along with us here in the Ministry of Media. You've been supportive. We need to let the Indian people know more about Saudi Arabia, and as well we need more Saudis to know about India. So this kind of cooperation and coordination will benefit both countries and both institutions as well.
What MediaOne can do for the Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabians, as you know, many changes is happening in the recent years in Saudi Arabia, and how MediaOne can support Saudi Arabia?
For sure, Saudi Arabia with the new Vision 2030 is becoming an industrial boom in the region. It's the largest workshop in the region, in the world right now. So the Indian companies can participate as well in the Saudi, the Indian banks, the Indian public sector as well as the private sector is needed here. There are so many projects to explore in Saudi Arabia. I'm sure your role is to introduce these projects to the Indian private sector, and I'm sure both will benefit because India is becoming, or in the future is becoming a very productive economy. It's going to be expected into 2050 is the second probably economy in the world. So our relation with India will grow and grow because of the strong partnership as well and the strong friendship between the Prime Minister of India and our Crown Prince. We have seen during the visit to India how warm he was received, and we want to thank the Indian government for their involvement within the development of Saudi Arabia.
Our MediaOne CEO is here. He can just comment on how MediaOne can support the Saudi booming sector.
The way we look at the Saudi development is very exciting, a very strategic development, especially the project called Vision 2030. And we understand that there are a lot of opportunities in terms of infrastructure and service industry and the manufacturing. So definitely India, from India perspective, there are a lot of human resources which can be contributed in this project. And similarly, there are a lot of youngsters and startups coming up and business investment units are coming up. They can easily collaborate with Saudi projects and take into a great successful collaboration.
Well, for sure, as you said, India technicians, especially in the computer world, are the best of the world. We can always benefit. I'm sure the coordination and bilateral relations will develop through the years, and MediaOne as a television station can play a great role in that regard is by the introduction of the new projects, of the hospitality of both people, the Indian people as well as the Saudi people. You mentioned the youngsters of Saudi Arabia, the women empowerment of Saudi Arabia has reached to its peak. Now we have minister rank, the Hala Twajri, she's in charge of the human rights of Saudi Arabia. We have deputy ministers, we have few ambassadors, all of them are ladies. This is the vision of Saudi Arabia, is to empower women as well as men, but for the young generation. So both countries can play a great role, and I'm sure media has its role to play in that regard.
Thank you very much, sir, for the time spent here.
Thank you.